You need to be in you and in your essence, in your authenticity, in your feeling. Get out of this looking, makeup, clothes, hair, this to sexy. Sexy is a state of being, nothing to do with look. Sexy is, we need to reclaim that moment of confidence, of yes, of move away anybody. I don't care, judgment, no judgment, what you thinking, what you telling me, what song it is, what style I'm dancing, move, feel, dance, be. That's sexy. So it's an inside job.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the InspireHer podcast. We've got a really exciting episode today, as always. So come and join us, grab a cup of tea, grab a drink, take a seat. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about sexy as an inside job. And Claudia's going to start off this conversation for us. This is something I've experienced talking to Claudia in her classes, and it's so inspiring to me. So over to you, Claudia.
Hi, everybody. Yes, one of my favorite subjects, how to reclaim sexy back. So I had this idea of really doing a masterclass and a workshop about sexy as an inside job. And it all started in one of the classes I was teaching. So we're preparing for a show. All the girls were rehearsing. It was a really sexy choreography. And I remember some of the girls stopping at one point and saying, Claudia, can you just teach us how to be sexy? I'm like, okay. That reminded me of something that I told them later. And I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, like, you know when you move over their head and all that thing, and can you just teach us? And I'm like, okay, right. Because then they went on. You know when we go out clubbing and we dance and we are just sexy, right? But when we go on stage, it's not the same because we got everybody's eyes and you're following a choreography. Can you just give us tips on how to move the body to be sexy? So that's when it came to me, and I'm like, hold on. So you're sexy in a club. Yes. When we go out clubbing, we feel when we dance, we feel sexy. It's just how do you put in a choreography? So I say to them, but you're in a club and you don't have a mirror, right? So it's not something that you do. It's something that you feel, I guess, right? Because there's no mirror. How do you know you're sexy? And they were like, oh, well, just you just listen, you just feel that song and you just move and you just in your zone. And I'm like, right. So you got it. It's not how you move your head. It's not how you look. It's not how you're dressed. You're not mentioning what you're wearing. You're not mentioning how much makeup you are having. You're not mentioning I was shaking my hips or moving my head. You don't even remember what you were doing or how you were looking, but you do remember you felt sexy. You didn't look sexy. You felt sexy. And they were like, oh, yeah. How do you put it on the stage? I said, well, that's the problem. So we assume that sexy. See, when you say that, you're already giving the power away to the stage or to the audience. In that way, you're associating sexy with how do I look? Because as soon as you step on that stage, the power went from feeling to, looking, right? Because in a way, you're thinking they're judging me. Am I sexy? Do I look sexy? Instead of going back into the, listen to that song. And you're on that stage not because of the audience. You're not on that stage because sexy is a look or a movement that they will look at and they decide that's sexy. That's not sexy. That's an image. That's a society attachment to sexy that we got. Sexy is a state of being of the same moment you listen to that track again. I always say for me it's Gasolina. That the Yankee need to talk to me because I keep on mentioning Gasolina every single. To me, I listen to Gasolina and other track that I'm not gonna mention, and I'm like, I don't care who's there. I don't care what I am. I don't care. I'm like, my body can't control it. I'm in my zone. I'm like, I need to unleash this. Right? That's sexy. It's not you look. It's nothing to do with. In fact, sometimes people are looking. You even. Oh wait, that's my zone. That's I'm nourishing myself. My body needs to be nourished. And you don't even care, or sometimes you don't even want someone to look at you. So when you go on that stage, you need to stay on that feeling because you're on that stage not because people are looking at you. You're on that stage because you're sharing something so that you want celebrated with people, right? You need to be in you and in your essence, in your authenticity, in your feeling. Get out of this looking, makeup, clothes, hair, this to and that there's nothing that you need to switch off from head to feeling like sexy. Sexy is a state of being, nothing to do with look. Sexy is we need to reclaim that moment of confidence, of yes, of move away anybody. I don't care, judgment, no judgment. What you thinking, what you telling me, what song it is, what style I'm dancing, what move, feel, dance, be. That's sexy. So it's an inside job.
Yes.
That, Claudia, I can feel the passion there when you're talking, isn't it? That fiery passion. And can I just add something? I absolutely love how you beautifully describe. And I want to say that when we are so connected with on a deeper level with ourselves, with our body. And I'm going to say something here, even with our sexuality as a women, because a lot of women are repressing those feelings, feelings of shame, feeling of guilt. Actually, the more you're connected to that, along with your body and really feeling yourself, because like you said, it's nothing to do with how we look, how, makeup, how we dress. But once you got all this connection within body, your sacral chakra, that sexuality, that sacred, with your pleasure, with that inner pleasure, pleasure for everything, not just on the sexual point of view, but connect with all your senses. When you eat, really taste the flavor, smell deeply, like really connect with all your senses and embody that. And I can assure you, you walk on the room, when you girls walk everywhere, you walk in a room, people will sense that energy, that magnetism, because it's the energy that you carry on. Like, who is she? Literally. And this is how you're gonna feel it deeply, that sex appeal within yourself. I felt sometimes sexy, and I was overweight than I am now. It's nothing to do with how you weigh. Even when I was pregnant, I still felt sexy, believe it or not. But then obviously sometimes I was going through some feelings. So it's nothing how you look, the body weight, it's just how you feel within yourself.
Yeah. I think we're all singing from the same hymn sheet here because I was literally thinking the same thing of how it, for me, it's about kind of sensuality and pleasure and self-pleasure, isn't it? And like, I think sometimes we associate pleasure with something that is outside of us or from someone else. But I was just thinking, like, some of the things that I find really pleasurable, like rituals that I have, like when I moisturize my whole body, that can be like a sensual, pleasurable experience, and it's kind of giving back to myself. So, like, sexy can be like a variety of different things. It doesn't have to be what we might go to the status quo in our mind. And I think, Claudia, when you were talking, when you were introducing this concept to us, it reminded me of when you first spoke about in the class I was in with you, where you just pulled the curtain from the mirror. You were like, right, no one look at themselves, and we were all like, oh, okay, like, because I think you could see like some of us in the class were just two in our head. We were looking outside of ourselves. Okay, what do we look like to the viewer? How are other people going to perceive us? And when you get stuck in that mode, isn't it, of looking outside of yourself for external validation, you're kind of not connecting with your true authentic self. And I remember you saying, just close your eyes and feel it. And the experience is so different, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, I get goosebumps now when you say close your eyes and feel it. Yeah, because you're not focusing so much on what you do. You're literally going deeper within with your body.
And your breath as well.
I always say mirror can be our best friend. If we stop looking at the mirror with these eyes and with these eyes, then it's our best friend. But if we look at the mirror with these eyes, it's all messed up. And dance classes, unfortunately. That's why dance went from healing to showing off, because of the mirror. And I love mirrors. I could have mirrors everywhere. But if I look at mirrors with my eyes, I see something different. But if I feel the mirror, I'm like, yeah, right? There's this thing that I always say in my classes. I want to live in this podcast. It happened to me when I started dancing many, many years ago. I remember my teacher, and I always told you this in classes, but I want to live it on this podcast, my famous story with my teacher. And we were all there, like really feeling and dancing, and and then she comes to me, she goes, Claudia, I want you to be sexier. I want you to really be sexy. Now, I remember thinking, okay, like immediately you go on external thing, like, it's more like if someone tells you be sexy, first of all, most of us will blush because we're like, oh, how do you do sexy? So you, instead of going in, you think of a pose or something, or like a dress. And I remember her thinking, listen, it's that simple. Imagine a cat waking up in the morning, and the cat stretches, and just move. It's not thinking, oh, she's looking at me thinking I'm sexy. The cat is feeding his own body and is stretching and is and it does that noise, and then it just his body, and then you find the movement. When you wake up and when that stretching movement, if you do it right now, my neck is hurting, but if I do that, the cat is going through another level of all his senses are open, he's stretching, he's opening. It's not thinking, I'm sexy.
Yeah.
It's pleasing in his body, he's feeling his body, what he needs. You need stretching, you need movement. When the cat comes close to you and he goes, you just want to be caressed, and then he goes away. I mean, that's not sexy. It's owning yourself. What do you need? What do you desire? I need a stretch. I need to dance. I need a hot bath. And oh no, I'm done. I just need some food. And you're not doing it to seduce. That's another story. Sex is not seduction. The cat doesn't give a shit about seducing. The cat knows what he needs. He comes and asks for it. It's not about I'm hot and that's going to seduce you. Of course it's going to seduce you, because listen, we're looking for, what do we want in a man? A man that knows what he wants. I mean, I still remember when I was very young and I was so fascinated about people sailing boats. This guy that was so wild that all they wanted was that boat, and that boat was the most important. I used to love sailors when I was young. And I loved and I remember thinking, look how he's looking after that boat and how he's sailing, and he doesn't need anybody else giving him attention. He's happy with that. That is sexy. When someone, it doesn't need your attention, doesn't need to be sexy, he knows what he wants, he knows what he likes, and go and ask for it. And when it's done, it's by himself. And that's what women always think of. I need a man. I need to seduce a man. No, it's no. What do you want? What do you need? The man will find you. The right man will find you. The man that will love you will find you when you're busy doing and what you love and unleashing all your desire. And when a woman is fooling herself, she knows what she wants. She's full of creativity. She's full of pleasure. She knows what she loves. She's loved because the biggest love comes from her. Don't you think a man look at her and goes, I want her? You don't want to look for that. You want to feel your desire. But because we carry so much guiltness as women around what we want, around to make money, how to be independent, how to be feeling our desire, like Giada was saying, food, eat all. No, we can't eat. We can't drink. We can't eat, drink, love, be, feel. That's it.
I love it. And I just wanted to say about the seducing that, like me, when I dance, I love dancing and I am so connected with my body when I dance, and I probably seduce myself. I'm not even doing like to get any of that. It's just because it's so like a big, full expression of who I am. And you're just doing it without like even think, oh, this is what I want to do, if that makes sense. Because when you are so embodied into that energy, it's gonna come out anyway. When you're doing it just because you really enjoy it, because you really express yourself without really putting any manipulation, or I'm doing this because I want to get some attention. No, it's nothing. It's just because this is you. You will like, you just say, Claudia, you will magnetize the man of your dream, you magnetize anything that you want because you become like that magnet through your energy. And the more we detach, I would say, the more we detach, and just by simply being present. And again, I feel like, Claudia is a dance teacher. So, all of you, we all dance. Like the dancing is just like the quickest way to bring us back to the present, to bring us back to the body, to bring us back to those feelings, really make us feel super connected with ourselves.
Yes, and I love the analogy of the cat. Like cats are just in their self-pleasure, aren't they? They want to do their own sassy thing when they want, who they want. And I think I remember, Claudia, you saying it in one of your classes, like the stretching, and I got it. When you have that good stretch when you wake up in the morning, you're just like, oh, that feels so good. It's that feeling, isn't it? Coming back to what I was saying earlier as well, it's like, how can you find pleasure in the kind of mundane things? So often or not, you might notice that sometimes we get up, we just go on autopilot. We go to the loo the same way, we go and make our coffee or drink, we might check our phone. How can you pause and have a moment of pleasure in your everyday routine? Kind of actually stop and pause and allow yourself to kind of feel that juicy feeling. It doesn't have to be that you have to schedule in some time to do that. How can you just feel that in your everyday life? Does that make sense?
Oh, yes. I don't know if Giada wants to answer to that.
Yeah, for me, definitely, dancing for me is just my way to connect deeper with myself, to be more present, and to really express myself. And actually, talking for my personal experience, has helped me to really unleash deeper those parts that perhaps I was holding myself back. So if any of you would like to give it a try on dancing, I would definitely recommend dancing. Even if, even if you can just shake and move your body as soon as you wake up in the morning, be connected with your breathing. Even when we wake up, we sometimes forget that just the simplest thing, just take a deep breath and really feel like your lungs when you're breathing in, and when you're breathing out. The breathing also help us to connect even more with ourselves and with our body, and help us to regulate our nervous system, to really calm us down. Drink a glass of water, and I always say, what is that one thing that it really leads your heart, that when you're doing it effortlessly, that you're doing it really with joy and passion and fun? Like I said, for me, it's dancing. What about for you? What is it?
I have this little, I've got a little, not secret, but something that, two things that two teachers taught me through the years. The first one is every day feed your senses doing one thing. So the taste every day something, that take that moment to taste. It could just be like, well, I adore coffee. Like literally, it's just I've got this passion for coffee. So just make sure that every day you try to do anything with your senses that you really enjoy. Like taste something that you really like and take 30 seconds. Smell something you really like. Like if I don't have a perfume or something like that, I really I just connect with my senses on a daily basis. From the touch, I always touch something that makes me feel good. In literally just touching this the cover on my bed, and I just sometimes just the simple thing, or smell a flower, or touch something beautiful, taste something beautiful, and hear music. Okay, I mean that's I do every single second. But another thing that one of my teachers taught me that I think is the most sensual thing you can do, because you actually put all your senses together. Go for a walk in which you are kissed by the sun. Like my first belly dance teacher was a male. I paid £30 for my first belly dance private class, which at the time was a lot of money. But the mentor tell me the first thing that a belly dancer does is learn to open up her senses before learning how to dance. So what I need you to do, walking on Oxford Street, let the wind blow your hair, let your face be kissed by the sun, listen to your favorite song, and move your body in accordance with everything you're feeling. And I remember thinking, I'm wasting £30 to walk in Oxford Street, like myself, right? And I remember thinking, oh my God, and that's it? Yes, that's it. Do it, and then I'll see you tomorrow. First of all, where do I get the sun in Oxford Street? Kissing my face. Like, seriously? But I did it. And that day changed my life. Not straight away. With time, it made sense. Especially when we're dancing. We're so focused on the movement. I remember him saying, what did your finger feel when you were walking? How did your hair feel when you were walking? Like things that you're noticing about your ass and your boobs and your body. And every single inch of your body needs to be connected with the senses. So go for a walk in which you are being kissed by the sun, if there's any, for like 30 seconds. Listen to a song or sing a song and do that walk and walk with that faith, with that, solar plexus open, going, thank you, life, and say something to be grateful for. That is sexy.
Love that. Gratitude is a magnifier. I just love it. Can you not feel like when you are grateful for something, even little things, it's just like change the whole body posture, the whole body energy. Just like, it's less tense. I just love that. I love these feelings on your skin, through the sun, the wind, through the hair. I just love it.
Still now, when I'm down, I do that. Some days I've got that walk that I'm like, just leave me alone. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm just Claudia. I'm just gonna smile. Thank you. Kiss me, blow my hair. Like you just say, like, I am me. I am me. I am, feel me, and thank you. Thank you because I'm walking. Thank you because I'm healthy. Especially after COVID, I keep saying thank you because I'm healthy. And so many people, some of my friends died. Thank you because I'm healthy. Thank you because I can dance, I can move, I can feel, I can smell. A lot of people after COVID cannot smell. I would die if I couldn't smell my perfume.
Yeah, I go for walks. I find walks so therapeutic, being in nature, especially when I'm in my head. I'll go on a walk and I'll just say, okay, I'll remind myself, let's think about all the things you're grateful for. And it really helps me connect. Like sometimes I listen to music and sometimes I'm like, no, I want to be present. I want to hear the wind. I always see butterflies at the moment when I'm walking. And it's just like, Claudia, the other day you saw on my Instagram, the little caterpillar. That was when I went for a walk and I literally looked down and I was like, wow, you just like nature. Like, I just love those moments in nature where I'm just enjoying, I'm in the element. And for me, I think another thing that I like doing to kind of get into my pleasure and feeling state is like rituals. So how do I take care of myself? And like, sometimes it's just setting half an hour aside, because I can be so busy and pouring into others and helping others that I'm like, right now I need to give back to myself. And I think that's a huge priority that I prioritize in my life. Even if it's just something basic, like, okay, this evening I'm going to dedicate my time to wash my hair and just feel good. And like, I love I know things are external, but I do love wearing makeup, and I love the kind of process of putting it on and it being pleasurable, like experimenting, and it not being about really what anyone else thinks, but just enjoying the actual activity of doing it and getting ready. I love that.
I would like to justify myself. I am not against superficial things. I love them.
No.
You know, I wanted to clarify, because I love my makeup. I love my clothes. I love my jewelry. I love all of that. I think before they were covering me. They were covering a lack of something. But once you have your full on love, just go on. Like, no, absolutely. It's
because I think sometimes there's this thing, isn't there, where I think there's sometimes this thing of like, you have to be either or. So it's like, okay, you can't really, like, don't worry too much about money and just love yourself and everything. So it's like, well, you can have both. Yes. You can love doing makeup. You can have fun doing that.
Yes, absolutely.
There can be both.
Yes. And I would also add meditation as well. If you can do some meditation every day, even if it's for 5 minutes, just simply like, do some visualization meditation, like, where you can connect with the feeling of what would it feel like to have those things that you want to magnetize in your life right now. If you can do that even 5 minutes a day, that is a great way to start manifesting those things. And again, to connect more with the present moment.
Yeah, it's sexy.
Yeah,
I think this is such a great topic, Claudia, and I think it's probably one that will leave people thinking. Like, initially they might be like, sexy is an inside job, what does that even mean? But I think when you first explained this concept to me, it really resonated with me and made me think about things very differently. So I feel like it's going to have people pondering and like, a thought to kind of digest and think about.
Yeah, it's a sexy, unfortunately, it's a underestimated topic, and it's being transformed for something for the outlooker rather than a state. It's a state. The Gabby Bernstein once say in one of the incredible videos, the sexiest person entering a room is the most authentic one. And I so rely with that.
So true.
You know sexy when you feel it. You can have the hottest people in a room, and that person comes. You don't even know how it's dressed, what is wearing, but it's got that aura. I don't need anybody's approval. I don't need anybody to like me. And I'm not against anybody. Everybody can be themselves. But I'm so shining right now. Like, it's ridiculous how much light I feel within me. And my light is not to bring you down. My light is to inspire you to shine even brighter in your own authenticity, in your own authentic self. So
it's an energy, isn't it?
Yes, it's all about energy. Yes.
It's the energy. It's knowing who we are. Like we were saying the other day with self-love. Once you learn that self-love, and it's an ongoing process, then you're like, confidence. That's what confidence is. Confidence is not about bringing other people down. That's arrogance. Arrogance is a lack of self-love, to the point that for you to feel good, you need to make other people feel bad so you can feel good. That's not confidence. That's arrogance. That's the total lack of self-love. A full-on self-love makes you confident to the point that you're walking in a room, you're full of light, and it's a light that you're charging yourself. You're charging that light. You are loving yourself so much, and you're feeding yourself, your senses so much, that when you enter a room, you're like, whoa, and everybody's like, what is that? And you're like, I'm here to help you light up your light, to get inspired, because your light is going to be different from mine. Also, celebrate individuality, celebrate that we're all different. The confidence doesn't come from a color of the skin, a color of the hair, shape of the body. It's the diversity, it's individuality, and we're going to shine brighter all together, all of different lights. That's what confidence and sexy is,
Yeah, because like you said, you feeding that yourself. You're not waiting for any external approval or validation. That is all coming from you, the source of all. It's you. You are the most powerful person, woman, man that you can think of, even if you don't feel it right now, but you are.
Yeah.
What are some kind of, say someone's listening to this podcast and they're like, wow, this is really eye-opening for me. I don't feel confident or sexy within myself. It makes me feel a bit uncomfortable or nervous. What would you say are some of the kind of initial things people could do? I know, Giada, you were talking about dancing, isn't it? And connecting with your breath. What other things do you think could help? Some tips to start getting connected with your sexy, authentic self?
I would say if anybody has a problem with, oh my God, I feel a little bit uncertain and I'm not sure that I'm considered sexy, again, they're giving the power out. So they need to work on self-love. They need to work. Every time we think what other people are thinking, really, we're thinking ourselves.
Exactly. And I feel like also,
So,
sorry, I think this is freezing.
Something is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the more you can be.
Jessica, I can't see your video. Is it just me? Can you see Jessica's video, Giada?
I can now, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Sorry.
The more that we can be who we truly are and really be embodied with that energy, I feel like that is going to help us also more to unleash that sexiness. And like I said personally at the beginning, the more we connect with our body and with our pleasure and sexuality as well, that is what makes us feel even connected even more. I speak through my personal experience.
Yeah, and I think sometimes for some people it might be that their body or they've been in survival mode because of various experiences, or sometimes even trauma for people. It can be located in the body, isn't it? So I think sometimes it can feel really overwhelming to be in a different state. So if you feel like you need support from a therapist or a coach, having that guidance alongside you can be really helpful. And I think this might be a bit strange, but something that I like doing is like seeing characteristics I like of other people. So like, when you were describing earlier, Claudia, someone walking, they're really confident. Like I was thinking about, like, say, Rihanna. Do you know what I mean? Someone who just like, she gives you that energy. She just doesn't care what you think. And I really like kind of seeing characteristics I like in other people. And I'm like, okay, how would I like that for myself? What would that be like within me? And seeing kind of the good qualities in others and how I want that to be kind of part of myself in my own authentic way, but just kind of acknowledging the good things in people, because I feel like once you start seeing the good things in others, you start seeing the kind of good things in yourself as well, rather than criticizing others. We can often be quite critical of ourselves, isn't it?
Yeah. But I also believe that people think sex is kind of aggressive. But it's the like sex is like, here I am. It's not. It's apart from the fact that everybody does sex in a completely different way. Rihanna is Rihanna. You are you. Like we all sex in our own unique way. Sex is not something. I don't care what people think. Here I am. That comes from a lack of love. So I would say before, if you feel like, oh my God, I'm scared to be judged, don't. It's you're too much into your head and you're too much into what other people think, and it's okay because that's how we're wired to be judged, and we judge ourselves. So just acknowledge that you are on a space of, am I being approved? Am I being loved? It's all relying on the outside. Know that and honor it because that's where you are and it's okay. What we want to do gently with love, with lots of self-love, it's okay that I need people's approval because this is how I've been since I was a little girl. It's okay. But start gently going in a space of, well, who are you? What did you achieve? What have you done? What can you be gentle on yourself about without being approved or not approved? What could it be one thing that you can do today or tomorrow or anytime that you don't need approval of, but you're actually doing it because you love it? instead of putting maybe too much makeup, I can do a little bit less because actually I got a pretty face. I don't need all that makeup. Maybe I'm going to put a little bit, I don't know. Or it could be, actually, I'm going to ask questions because I've always been told that I'm asking too many questions, but I'm wondering, why shouldn't I ask a question? Because I deserve an answer. What do you deserve? Start going gently to yourself and realize, well, actually, I am worthy of asking questions. Actually, I am worthy of maybe putting less makeup, or actually, because actually I'm okay. So do that little process of it's okay because we need approval because that is in us. But sex is not. I don't care. I go because that is completely the opposite. That is a lack of love. That is a I don't give a no. You do.
Yeah, and I mean it in a way. I think what I was
And being
referring to.
unapologetically you, maybe you was meaning.
Yeah, like it's not like I don't care about anyone. It's like I can connect with others, and like you're just showing up in that kind of excited energy of like, if you don't like me, it's okay. Like it's fine.
Yeah. No, it wasn't in referral what you were saying. I'm saying in general, like people. No, it was just no. It wasn't. You would understand what you say because but people sometimes confuse Rihanna with that attitude, but actually Rihanna is full of self-love. Like she's incredible. But sometimes people could misinterpret sexuality being sexy, like and it's not. It could be if it comes from a sense of again, everybody expresses sensuality in a completely different way, and that's beautiful. But you will know, you will have two naked women in front of you, and you will know the one that is somehow we just go, oh, she's a bit chic, or she's a goddess. They're both naked. You will know the one that is chic, which is not a nice word, but what I'm trying to say is that she needs so much love that she requires from anybody, and she will just do anything to get that love. The other one is a temple of I'm so good within myself, like I'm full, I'm just full of self-love, that you will know, wow, a sexy person is someone that you will go, like wow, like you were saying with Rihanna, absolutely. And you like you say, I just want to be me. Does that make sense?
Love it.
There's so much more we could probably discuss and talk about, isn't there? But we're going to have to come to for today. And I just wanted to say thank you, both of you, for kind of having such a fruitful and exciting and like just energetic conversation. And thank you, Claudia, for kind of bringing us to our attention. And I just love it. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. If you've got any comments or ways that you enjoy connecting with your sexy self, please do let us know. And if you've got any further topics you'd like for us to talk about or share, please do get in contact with us. Thank you.